Hello?
Oh, hi. Is Errol available?
Speaking.
Hi, Errol. This is Aaron Wittgenstein. We spoke previously about your property over on Pinebrook Boulevard. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I can't complain. I know you had mentioned to me that you said you may think about putting the property on the market at some point down the road. Just wanted to catch up and see how we could help.
I wasn't going to do it here. The person that had it initially, they have agreed with me to come back on.
Okay, so with the agent who had it up previously?
Yes.
Okay, have you signed paperwork with them?
I'm in the process of doing so.
Okay, well, I mean, let me ask you this. I mean, if you haven't signed paperwork, I mean, it looks like they had the house on the market for 6 months. I mean, what do you... Okay,
no, not really. In truth, it was my fault why it happened, not theirs.
How so?
The house was in violation of some ordinance.
Okay.
That was the problem, not theirs.
Sure, understood. How long did you actually have it on the market for?
Let me see. I gave it to them in September. But the amount of work I had to do was quite enormous.
Gotcha. Well, what kind of work did you do?
I had to do, there's some work to be done in my basement.
Okay.
There was some corrections to be made. The roof needed work to come up to standard. And also my attic, there were some problems there.
Okay.
Some door situation. These are things that were done prior to me buying the house that I did not know was a violation when I bought the house in 1981.
Let me ask you something. And like I said, my intent here is not to knock anybody, so please don't take it that way, okay? And just because that's not how I want to come across. Now, did they advise you of this before you put the house on the market, or did you just kind of put it up and it happened? I mean, what happened?
Well, I just put it up basically because they themselves did not know. I owned the house since 1981.
Okay.
But even if they assumed, their assumption would have been correct. So I've lived in the house that long, everything would have been okay. When I bought the house also with those deficiencies.
Right. Oh, totally. I mean, it's not. Yeah, believe me, we deal with this enough. It's a shame the way stuff is done here that everybody gets put through. But here's my concern. Okay, is that stuff wasn't done prior. Okay, and what happened is because they didn't. In essence, part of their job is to double check and see if that's an issue. Okay, so what happened is now I know what happened. You know what happened. But what the market says right now is the market says this house is on the market for 6 months and it didn't sell. And that's the issue that you're running into because you didn't do anything wrong. They just didn't do their due diligence ahead of time. And I'm telling you, like, it's going to put you behind the 8 ball because, you know, there's a story that gets told with every property. I mean, does that kind of make sense?
Well, you're clear, and that assessment has gone through my head also. That yes, it was there with a story, okay, and the story can be explained. Why? Unfortunately, I cannot put it on the internet as such. It's when a person comes to look at the house, he or she will hear what happens. But they have pretty much assured me that that situation caused some concerns. The square footage of the house was not listed correctly. They went to the city themselves to check that out, and the city assured them that the footage was correct, but I knew it was incorrect. Okay.
Yeah. Because how many square feet are you?
The square footage is actually over 2,300 square feet. And
they put you down as, I mean, who's in there is 1,300. You know that, right?
That's what they had it as. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And I told them that I thought that was incorrect. They went to the city, pulled all the specifications out. The city was insistent. It was quite emphatic, as a matter of fact, that was correct. And so they had no choice. They published what the city told them. Okay? So now that I have some new architectural work going in, new architectural drawings and so on, the numbers will be adjusted.
Okay. I mean, here's what I understand, you know, and what I will say here is that no matter what, when a listing comes up and you look at it and you know darn well this house is in 1,300 square feet, you don't put it in there. You do everything you can to make it happen because we all know it's not when you look at it. And that's the thing is, here's my biggest concern, and this one, look at, because you've got a saleable property, okay? And no matter what, you're an expired listing. And from what I see here is that's going to put you behind the 8 ball. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's a business decision with this whole thing. And my question to you is if, let's say, we sit down and talk and you feel that I can get you more money for your house without these headaches, would it be at least worth sitting down and having a conversation to see how I can help you?
The trouble is, I am not in New York right now.
Okay.
That's another thing. And I got to be honest with you. This woman has been so friggin' good for me, okay? She pays attention to my property. If my daughter is not available or my friend is not available, she spends time there, okay, looking over my property for me, make sure my lights are on, make sure my water is not frozen, make sure my heat is not overdone, make sure my air conditioner is on, make sure the property is taken care of by my yard people and so on. She has been exceptionally wonderful for me, and that's a part of it. Okay.
And the thing is, I'm not trying to come off in the way that I'm coming off, so I just want to let you know that. But what are we looking for? Are you looking at someone, I mean, she sounds like she's a phenomenal caretaker, you know, which is great. But when you look at selling a house, she didn't get the job done. You know, and it sounds like it got, you know, kind of just, you know, messed up from the beginning, and that's my concern, because if she takes care of the house, that's great, but in essence, you don't want to take care of the house anymore. You want to sell the darn thing, right? And, I mean, it's one of those things, if I could figure out a way to at least get in there, take a look, see what you have, maybe you and I, we can set up a Skype call or a FaceTime call and at least go face-to-face, and you can at least see if you feel we'd be a better option. At the end of the day, it's all about how much money you can get and how quickly you can get this thing sold, right?
Well, that is true. No doubt about that. But all I'm saying here is that really that she has been so friggin' good to me. She's gone above and beyond. And believe me, she had many showings. Almost every week she was having a different showing. So she has access to people. People have access to them. There were many showings.
But it didn't sell. It didn't sell. I mean, that's the concern that I have. It didn't. You know, showings are great, but until you get an offer in there, it doesn't mean anything. I'm looking at this house and I'm like, this house should have sold even with whatever was going on. You should have procured a buyer, and you should have been able to take care of this prior to closing. And that's the concern that I have. And you sound like, you know, you're a good guy. You're not living in state, and it's like, how can you get this thing sold? I'd love to, like I said, at least set up a time where we could go face to face, you know, via computer.
Okay. Where are you guys?
My office is in White Plains. I actually have a team of 6 people that report directly to me. So this is all we do. 80% of our business is homes that were on the market for extended periods of time without selling. Last year we helped 26 families like yours that had homes on the market for upwards of 1,036 days. And we're taking contracts in 29 when people listen to us.
Well, in truth, you know, I understand that it's not unusual in New Rochelle. You know, I've seen homes in New Rochelle 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, you know, continuous showing. It's a supply and demand situation. I put my house on the market, it's true, very late. I put my house on the market in September, October, when families bought homes for their families to go to school already. So I came in on the back end of the market. Okay. Normally I would agree with you, but this year, because the summer, I mean, it got extended out. I've been doing this for 16 years. November and December were the busiest November, December I've ever seen in my life. We sold like 10 houses in November and December. It was crazy how busy it was. Here's the thing, is, I mean, I'm not looking for a commitment. I'm just looking to sit down and have a conversation with you face to face, see if you think I'm a good fit, and if not, you go with the other person. At least this way you can keep everybody honest. Yeah. I can show you what I do, and it's your decision. It just doesn't hurt to get a second opinion, at least. Like I said, I am not in New York, and I'm not going to be in New York for another 3 weeks or so. Okay. I mean, would you be open to maybe, if I took a look at the property and maybe we scheduled a call via Skype or FaceTime or something, or at least a call where we could actually talk a little bit more specifics? How are you going to get to the property?
Like I said, I don't know if there's a way that I can get in to look at them. If you have a family member or somebody here, or a key or a garage code or something, I could go take a look. Like I said, I got a good feel about the property. I know the area over there. So, I think at this point it's more strategy session is really what you need to look at. And, if it, in worst case scenario, you get some good information the other person could use.
You have me thinking.
I'm not here to waste your time, sir. I'm not. I look at this house and it's a shame that this happened. That's what I look at.
Yeah, it's a shame, yes, but really, it's the city of New Rochelle has gotten very tough.
Oh, believe me, I know. I believe me. I'm fully aware. If you think they're bad, go try and sell a house in Harrison right now. It's ridiculous what they're doing over there.
Okay, well, Port Chester, I just saw Port Chester and New Rochelle just went.
Oh, don't even get me started with Port Chester. I don't even like talking about that. Harrison's. I have a client who they didn't use the person that was suggested for them to use, and it got tied up for 6 months. It was ridiculous.
Well, exactly, and that's what New Rochelle is all about.
Yeah.
And I know people were just almost about to go to contract. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to put it. New Rochelle came in. I said, look, you've got violations. What do you mean we have violations? I bought the house like this. Where were you guys 30 years ago, okay?
I know.
It's the same boat I found myself in. My attic is finished. They told me that there was no permit for it, okay? I said, I bought the house like this in 1981. There's a dormer on your house, okay? Well, if the attic is finished, there's going to be a dormer on there. I didn't do it, okay? They didn't care. Okay. I had to go back and research like hell to find a photograph to show them the dormer and the house when I bought back in 1981. And even that was an illegal doorway that was built also. You guys sold me the house like this. What are you talking about?
Oh, I had one, 248 Fifth Avenue that we sold. It was probably a year and a half ago. My client had illegal bathrooms. Every single bathroom except one bathroom was illegal. Okay? If they would, and I wound up getting a buyer in that none of that stuff got brought up at all. We didn't have to worry about it. So, I mean, there are ways where you could, deal with this stuff on the front end. It just has to be done properly. With us, it was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. They had 3.5 bathrooms. We only listed it as a 1-bathroom because the rest of them weren't legal. So we didn't do anything wrong. We just set the proper expectation with the buyers. So. There's many ways as long as, there's nothing wrong. And like I said, I don't know if the agent did a bad job. They just may not know how to do stuff like that.
It's true. But my thing was, what happened was the city would not have caught ours because we put the house on the internet. And we showed everything, just about.
Sure.
And they saw the house on the internet. They took it down and compared it to what we had in the office. And that's what it was. If I did not put up some of the pictures on the internet, then they would not have caught that situation. The house would have been sold already.
And I can agree with you on that. My only frustration is this should have all been done prior to you putting the house on the market. That's my only thing. They didn't check. They didn't do their due diligence, so therefore it puts you behind the 8 ball. If you would have had the work done, you could have come on the market now. It's like it never happened, and it would have probably, I wouldn't doubt you probably lost 5 to 7% just because of that. So, I mean, how does your schedule look? I mean, is there a time that we can schedule a face-to-face? I can shoot you over my information, and we can just...
I'm getting a call here. I'm in some transactions right now.
Okay.
I have your number. Can I call you right back?
Yeah, that's fine. Is this the best number?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, sounds good, my friend. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Press 1 to continue.